Hello everyone. So in this video we're going to talk about the wind speed array and using the wind speed array our current wind. So first of all, um, how you change the speed of your assets is based on the speed of ultradynamic weather. So let's just take a look at ultradynamic weather speed. Um, Let me move that over so you can see it. Okay, so by default, we've got clear skies and it's set to a wind speed of 2. And this is all again defined in your ultradynamic weather presets. Let's go to snow and we can see the wind speed changed. Okay, so wind speed changed to 10. And then the wind speed's going back down for clear skies. You saw the transition, so this is just set up in my level blueprint for testing, but these are general ultradynamic weather settings. Ultradynamic weather has a transition period that you can set. 0 would means it changes instantly, like this one. And then you can set it in seconds if you want the transition to go over time, as this one does. And again, this is just testing in my level blueprint. I'll show you a separate video about the level blueprint. So let's look at the wind speed. Now, we have here use wind speed array or current wind speed. So for current and check is true for using the wind speed array. Unchecking is using for the current wind speed. If we're using the current wind speed, that means it's going to pass in the direct value from ultradynamic weather, which is a value from 0 to 10, and you saw that wind speed change, so it'll pass in the direct value. Right now, the only system that I'm passing in the direct value is for Brushify, as I think that looks a little better and smoother. Most systems, when you change the wind speed, you're going to get a little bit of a jerky movement as the wind speed changes. This is just due to the shader. And just about every other system, Project Nature, Maui, whatever, in their shader, when you change wind speed, this is regardless of GES. If you just had Maui installed and you change the wind speed using their system, you would get a little bit of a jerky movement. Let's take a look at that real quick. So right now let's change the wind speed. So you can see right there that you've got a little jerky movement as the wind speed changes. The same is true with the direction. Okay, let's change the direction. And you're getting a little bit of a jerky movement in that. Let's just do it with. See how I'm changing the direction right now, and you can see you get the jerky movement of that. Again, this is due to the shaders and how Unreal Engine works. I haven't been able to find a solution. Maybe, writing a new shader or something could do that. I have no idea. I'm not a shader guy, but maybe if you come up with some solution. Again, we can work with Megascans and Project Nature shaders because those are basically free with Unreal, but the other shaders for Brushify and Maui and stuff like that, I mean, that's, something specific with their system. All right, so let's go over the wind speed array. Again, that's going to be used for most of the systems except for Brushify. What is the wind speed array? Well, the wind speed array looks for a range of changes in the ultradynamic weather system. So you can set a range of maybe 0 to 2. And if the wind speed is within that range, then it will set the wind speed for what you want your foliage to be. Let's take a look at that. So I've added various values already by default. So we open that up. And right now we're not using the weather name, as some of the customers that I talk to, they don't really care about the weather name change. Let me just show you that real quick. You can see we have current weather, clear skies, and as we change, it goes into partly cloudy, stuff like that. But we're not going to focus on using that. we're going to focus on just when that wind speed changes. So right now, true would be for using the weather name, false would be using for the wind speed, and we're going to leave it defaults. And since we're using the wind speed, we don't need to check for the weather name. So basically how this works, each array index says, okay, I'm going to look for a wind speed of greater than or equal to 0 and a wind speed of less than or equal to 2. And this would be the wind speed coming from ultradynamic weather. As you saw up here, that wind speed changed from 2 and on up to 10, depending on the weather type. This is set in your ultradynamic weather presets. You can look at the presets here. We'll go and take a look at the presets. That is in blueprints, weather effects, I think, and weather presets. So we can open up clear skies, and you can see in clear skies it's got a wind intensity of 2. So that means clear skies is going to have a range of 0 to 2 when it changes, if you're changing it over time or lerping it. Let's take a look at, thunderstorm. So thunderstorm is going to have a wind intensity of 9, and so it's going to be basically looking at around the wind speed of 9. The way the wind speed works in ultradynamic weather, it's not exactly going to be 9 until it reaches its full wind intensity. So that means, maybe between like 8 and 9, you're probably going to want to say, hey, it's thunderstorm. So going back to looking at the wind speed. So again, we're looking at a wind speed between 0 and 2, and then that means if it's between that this array index 0 will be true, and it will then set the foliage strength to 2 and the tree wind strength to 2. Again, you can change this to whatever value looks good for you. I've set some default values up that I think look okay, but if I wanted to increase this value to 4 for the tree wind strength, I could. And then when it ran, it would set the tree wind strength to 4 instead of 2. And then you've got various other options that you can change. Again, if this wind speed, if this array is true, then here's all the different values you can set. These are the default values here that come with Megascan trees, but you can certainly change the speed. So I'm mainly just focusing on the wind strength and wind speed, or excuse me, the wind strength for foliage and trees. So let's take a look at another array. Let's go to this last one, and it doesn't matter what order you put them in, but I just kind of put them in order from least to the greatest wind speed. So now in this one, I'm going to look for a wind speed of 8 to 10, and this would basically be your thunderstorm. So when it's in thunderstorm, I'm looking for a wind speed of 8 to 10. So again, so we change it to thunderstorm, and as it's slowly increasing, we're going through each value, and then when we hit 8.1 to 9, we're going to use this one. We could just set it up as 9, but I went ahead and set up as 8.1 to 10. So as long as that wind speed falls within this range, this index will be true, and we will apply the foliage wind strength here. Now, for me, what I thought looks good is that I think when we're in thunderstorm, that a foliage wind strength of 10 looks good, but I found that the tree wind strength looks a little better if we increase it a little more, and I found that it looks better at 12. So that basically is the wind speed array. The other thing is you can enable the multiplier, which I have enabled. I have it enabled by default, and you can, if you want, you'll see here, and again, this is set up in my level blueprint. You've got a multiplier of 1. So if I wanted to decrease the multiplier, you can see that the wind speed is changing. So you can use that or not use it as you want. It's enabled by default. By default, it's set as 1, so it's not really changing anything. For example, if we go to thunderstorm, All right, we're increasing the wind speed just from alternating weather. If we wanted to apply the multiplier to make it even more, you know, we could do that. And it's just an option, and it's just an option for you to use. So that explains the wind speed array. Thank you.